What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? What's up, James? It's perfect. I'm in the middle of eating an ungodly amount of chocolate pudding and I'm ready to chill. All right, sounds good. Yeah, I've been meaning to stream for a while. I had a little bit of an issue and I finally just kind of said bag it. I've got one of those capture cards and I've been wanting to switch to streaming with my actual camera so I can get like, you know, good camera angles and all that kind of stuff. I guess it really doesn't matter too much, but so we're just going to be so what I'm doing right now is I'm making some music. And the good news, if I've got this right, I think I've got it so that I can actually stream with FL Studio finally. And the way I did it, I went and got like, maybe you can see it. I don't know. No, it's not going to show you because I've got the background removal on. But the way I've got it set up is I've got like I actually hardwired it. So I split the out for my audio and rewired it back into my second mic jack. So it's kind of a weird way to do this, but you know, let me know. Can you guys hear this? Let me know if this is actually coming through or not here. Hopefully. Good. Awesome. Does it sound like shit or does it sound okay? Yeah, so this is some of the music in the new video actually. I really like this one a lot. What's up, Teak? Trying to keep the notes kind of in the lower registry, just because there's a lot of narration that's going on over this. Doing good. Excited to get this video, man. This is going to be a really cool video. Like this isn't the type of topic that I've really done before, and I love doing new stuff like this. So yeah, that's this song is called The Poorest of the Poor. It's so the video that I'm working on, it's a really cool topic. So in the 1700s, this is all a true story too. There's this mystery beast that hunted and devoured upwards of 300 people in the south of France. And a lot of people outside of France don't know a whole lot about this. It's called the Beast of Gévaudan. Gévaudan is a historic province in the south of France that is now the modern day department, which is kind of a province of Lozère. And this is a real animal. In fact, I'll show you guys kind of the beginning here. so you can kind of see kind of the pitch. I showed patrons this before, but here I'll just let it play here. Before I do that, let me render this out so that it'll actually play smoothly here. The lion theory is one of countless it's one of countless things that they've speculated about that it could possibly be. If I'm looking a little choppy right now, it's because my computer's working really hard. It's rendering the files here, so it'll be a little choppy here for just a second, but hopefully it'll. And what's really interesting about this story is it's kind of the origin of modern werewolf tales. Werewolves go back to like 900 Common Era, but our modern idea of them about how they're killed with like silver and stuff like that all comes from this story, actually. Yeah, see, your family is French, and that's why you've heard the story. In fact, researching this story was a little difficult because almost all of the source material, well, all of the original source material is in French. And I've been digging into all sorts of historical records and just trying to get the story and I mean, it's a very real thing that happened, which is what's so terrifying about it to me anyway, because people don't know how real this thing really was. As supernatural as it all sounds, this is a very real thing that happened. It's just about done here. It's got about 40 frames left here. 30 frames, 20 frames. There we go. All right. And this update for Premiere has been really, it's been tough. It crashes a lot, so you might see a few crashes here tonight. A few updates ago, it seemed more or less kind of stable, but this new update, man, it's giving me some grief. All right, 5 seconds. Or 7, I guess. Now 8. You can see it right up here. Oh man, for a second I thought Streamlabs crashed on me. I was like, oh my gosh. Okie, what is up, my dude? I need to add you. So at Okie, I'm going to show these nice folks what I've got so far in this video. So check this out, dude. I think you'll really like this, man. This is a very stylized video. This is probably the most stylized video I've ever done. I'm trying to make this almost like it's straight out of like a historical book. Like you're almost opening like a fairy tale book. So it's gonna be pretty cool. All right, so here we go. All right, let me save.
It is so dreadful in appearance that only Hercules would dare brave it. Only the greatest of courage dare to shoot at it, albeit
See the cell shading there?
We could only do so with an uncertain trembling of hand. It stands on its hind legs while it
Gotta fix that part.
Decapitates with the other two. It's so greedy for human blood that it eats even the earth, which is watered with it. In the 18th century, this remote and
Here's that
desolate
song
part of
you
the
guys heard me
country
writing a little bit
was
ago.
sparsely populated, mostly by common peasants, the poorest of the poor, isolated and forgotten, almost completely cut off from the court at Versailles. The inhabitants of this neglected hellhole died of starvation by the hundreds every year as they awaited their meager annual harvests of grain. The winters get so cold here that many bring their livestock in their homes at night just to get the extra body heat that can keep the brutal, penetrating chill at bay. Infested with wolves, disease, and poverty makes life a daily battle. With little education, there was almost nothing that the mind couldn't conjure up which became believable, even supernatural monsters like werewolves, which were commonly believed to exist, with tales dating back hundreds of years. Standing alone, tending your herds with no human settlements in sight, alone with your thoughts and the sound of hollow mountain wind, it's easy to get lost in your own imagination. Every flicker of movement.
Got to do all the visuals for this part right here, but
every sudden crunch of leaves or snap of a twig. You just never knew what lay just beyond your line of sight. With firearms being prohibited to everyone but soldiers and nobility, personal protection from the ever-present dangers around you consisted of whatever you could get your hands on. The infrequent travelers who came through on their way to better locations unanimously described all the sparsely located villages they saw as simply hideous. A soldier from Normandy who came in April of 1765 wrote back to his friend, "Snow, hail, thunderstorms, wind, wet feet. I beg of you, sir, if you have not already left the Gévaudan yourself, forget about it. This is an abominable country with terrible food." As a peasant field worker in southern France, every day was a monotonous routine. You knew the landscape and you knew every bit of wildlife in the area, including the overwhelming wolf population in the area that you had to vigilantly protect your livestock from on occasions where you would just let them out to graze.
so that's what I've got so far anyway. So I'm going to be filling in this part right here. I need to fix this part. I'm also going to be recording some interesting stuff actually as well tonight. Possibly some more music. In fact, let me shut down FL Studio for now because FL Studio takes up a ton of RAM while I'm already using a ton of RAM with like Premiere and stuff like that. So to answer your question though, James, yeah, I really do like making the visuals. That's honestly, I feel like that's kind of my shtick. Okay, so I need to figure out which one this was here. So that's the intro beast photos. Okay. So I'm going to open up After Effects here. So this stream I'll probably be a little distracted here and there, and I will be checking the Twitch chat here every so often, but mostly this is just going to be kind of me just getting to work early. Okay, so here it is. So intro beast photos. Okay. Need to replace that. I've spent days trying to figure out how to get so one of the things I've really been using with this video in particular is a lot of just artificial intelligence type stuff, and that involves downloading a lot of GitHub repositories, and I've been busting my butt trying to figure out how to install this one in particular, and it's just being really, really difficult. In fact, I was talking to Mudahar today with Some Ordinary Gamers, and just asking him for a little bit of help. And I think what I'm probably going to end up doing is I'll probably end up, what do you call it? Doing a dual boot on my computer of Linux, just because Python and GitHub stuff seems to do much better on Linux type stuff. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's working a little bit better. All right, let's see if that took over here. Yep, there we go. In fact, actually, you know what? Let's just render and replace that so that that doesn't happen again. So I think I'm done editing this particular part anyway. So let's just render that out. Hi, Satan. Pleasure to have you here, my Dark Lord. Oh, the donut. Oh, yeah. Dude, thank you so much. Wow. Helping you and the Boo Boys. Thank you for your incredible content. Thank you so much, man. Sorry, I've got a little feed here, and the little notifications, just because I was distracted there for a second. So I'm so sorry that I missed that for a second, but thank you so much. I'm glad you pointed that out. Appreciate that, man. But yeah, honestly, you know what? I probably am going to make a little bit more music tonight, because honestly, I'm so excited that I finally got this thing working where I can actually stream myself making music. And I've got a really cool new audio library. In fact, one of the really cool things that I'm really excited about, if you're ever in my Discord, one thing I talk about all the time is how much of a fanboy I am for this one company called Spitfire Audio. They make all of the libraries that I use to make all the orchestral stuff anyway for my videos. And I actually had a meeting with them this week, and so nothing really planned. It was just more I was able to get on their radar. But man, it would be really cool if I could just work a little closer with Spitfire Audio. I don't know if they'll ever like sponsor me or anything like that, or anything like that. I don't know. I just want to be a part of it in some way. I don't know what it is. It would just be really, really cool, because it's one of those companies that I think is really breaking new ground in terms of just what opportunities they provide musicians such as myself to just give us the best kind of tools. And they do so much stuff for free too. If there's any music producers out there listening, check out Spitfire Audio Labs. Like, they do these free sample libraries that are just absolutely incredible. All right, so let's check this beginning part out and make sure it looks okay.
Shoot at it, albeit from a distance. You could only do so with an uncertain trembling of hand. It stands on its hind legs.
There we go.
It strangles and decapitates with the other two. It's so greedy for human blood that it eats even the earth, which is watered with it.
this title here. And then it fades with that like female choir. Man, really like how that turned out. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. What do I need to do here?
In the 18th century, this remote and desolate part of the country.
Okay, that's now I remember what I really wanted to do right there. Let me see. There it is. Okay, so wanted to do this. I want to do a speed ramp of some kind. There we go. See what that looks like here.
Flicker of movement in your peripheral. Every sudden crunch of.
Let's speed that up a little bit. Make it like 1,000.
Movement in your peripheral.
A little too much.
Flicker of movement in your peripheral. Every.
Okay. In fact, actually, I did that backwards. Whoops.
Movement in your peripheral. Every sudden.
Okay. And then there's this. And then this is the part that I really wanted it to be a lot faster. Because I'm going to reverse this. First, I'm going to nest it because when you mess with speed, it sometimes does weird stuff. Okay, then let's reverse that.
Movement in your peripheral. Every sudden.
There we go. I wish it was a little more pulled out when you go into that, but you know, we'll deal with it. Okay. Okay, let's make that a little bit longer. Okay. Okay. And then let's do a dip to black. So we can just get rid of this one here. Oh, that's a zoom blur. I don't know if I want to get rid of that. Okay, so let's throw that right there. And then instead of a dip to black, we'll do another zoom blur. Okay. Then let's move that ahead just a little bit. This is what editing is. So tedious. Dude, dissolve. There we go. I think that'll do it. All right, let's render that out, see how it looks. Subnautica? Heck yeah, dude, I love Subnautica. I keep meaning to check out the new one. I actually bought it when it first came out on early access, and I tried it for a little bit and then put it down. I was like, I'll wait until it's out, and then now it's out, and I just haven't tried it.
In the 18th century.
You like that? That's kind of a cool little transition, right?
In the 18th century, this remote and desolate part of the country.
In fact, I want to slow that down much more. There we go.
In the 18th century, this remote and desolate part.
I feel like there's more I can do. Yeah, we'll do that. I just want to drag it out a little bit more.
In the 18th century, this remote and desolate part of the country.
There we go. I like that. All right. Nope, not that one. There we go. Oh, I've already used this clip. Yeah, it's that clip right there. Okay. Okay, let's go back into my footage. So a lot of this stock footage, I'm actually going to be changing it up. I'm going to be running it through those AI things to like turn it more into like a cartoon. I'm just trying to get the footage itself in place. Zoom down. Not that one. It's hard to find good stock footage of France. At least this particular area that I'm looking for. Okay, so now we got a cabin right there. So I want to cut it off right there.
In fact, there's so little of her left intact that the priest wrote that she had to be buried without sacraments, since there was almost nothing to even put in the ground.
Okay, let's put that one back there.
Desolate part of the country was sparsely populated, mostly by common peasants, the poorest of the poor, isolated.
Let's reverse that. And also, I kind of want to do something. Kind of want to do a cool little like dolly zoom if I can. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That
Part of the country was sparsely populated, mostly by common peasants, the poorest of the poor.
that looks pretty cool. What's the frame rate on this? Oh, it's only 25, so never mind. Although I'm going to be throwing that down to 12 frames a second, actually. Just give it that animation look. In fact, let me go ahead and do that. So I'll show you guys how I'm doing this AI stuff I was telling you about.
Part of the country was sparsely populated, mostly by common peasants, the poorest of the poor, isolated and forgotten, almost
Let's do that, and we'll do like an opacity fade.
Part of the country was sparsely populated, mostly by common peasants, the poorest of the poor, isolated and forgotten. Isolated and forgotten, almost completely cut off from the court at Versailles. The inhabitants of this neglected hellhole died of starvation by the hundreds every year.
What's up, Satan? Isolated and forgotten. Yep, you're gonna hear a lot of this over and over and over again. So this is welcome to my world. By the time a video comes out, like I've got it pretty much memorized. Oh, I ran out of disk space. Okay. In fact, actually, you know what? Let me get rid of this opacity fade. Let me do this. I'm going to show you a really cool little trick that I'm using right now.
part of the country was split mostly by common peasants, the poorest of the poor.
Okay, so I need to reverse that first again.
The country was sparsely populated, mostly by.
I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Let me switch this. Maybe I'm doing this dolly zoom the wrong way.
Part of the country was sparsely populated, mostly by common peasants, the poorest of the poor.
There we go. That's what I was trying to do. In fact, let's also add a little bit of rotation to it.
Peasants, the poorest. Part of the country was sparsely populated, mostly by common peasants. Part of the country.
Let's see how much I can get away with here. Ooh, I can get real far. Oh, geez. I can do like almost sideways.
Part of the country was sparsely populated.
That's a little too much, though. Maybe we'll do negative 25.
Part of the country was sparsely populated, mostly by common peasants, the poorest of the poor.
There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this as a PNG sequence. Okay, I can get rid of this one. I can get rid of this one because I'm done with that one. Okay. Let's call it forced rotate. There we go. All right, and then we're going to export that at 12 frames a second. And the reason I'm doing it at 12 frames a second is because it looks a little bit more animaty, if you know what I mean. Teak, I don't really talk about her. Not my favorite topic. Honestly, even when Nexpo did that video, like, it wasn't a topic that I enjoyed diving into. She's still around, but I've just made up my mind to not acknowledge it at all anymore. Oh, good grief. Come on. Get out of here. Okay. So, this is a really cool little stylization station. All right, so there's one of these here that'll let me stylize however I want. I don't know why it doesn't let me keep when I make new models here. Okay, so I took this sketch here. It's just a regular old sketch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my footage and I'm going to try and make it look like it's in this style. Although now that I'm looking at it, it's got all sorts of watermarks. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so then I take this and then I go grab. Let's take a look at this here. All right, so it exported all of these as individual frames. All right, and then we run the model. Patreon's a really good way. Donations are very welcome right now because I'm as you can see on the top line of the screen right now, what I'm really working towards right now is there's this month-long RV trip that Nathan Barnett, the guy who plays Dad, Jamie from Inside of Mind, Looney Turtle, Tinfoil Tom, all of these people, we're all going to be taking this big month-long RV trip. It's going to cost a ton of money that I don't have. And so the big reason why I'm streaming right now is to try and raise funds on that. So I'm trying to get into affiliate. And then what I'll do is once I can actually start monetizing Twitch streams, I'll start going for longer and longer records and stuff, see how long I can stream at once. So, why is this taking a while? Let's see if we can maybe find another sketch that will... Actually, I like this one here. Dang. Thank you, Mr. Redditor. We're not actually using like his work. We're just more like trying to find a good sketch that will teach the AI to oh, there we go. I'm not feeling that. Let's change it out with this one here. It's a little too harsh. There we go. There's that last one. Took about 10 seconds, it said. Let's turn the grayscale up on that one. I feel like I might need to redo the export on those photos actually because I forgot I had the adjustment layer on there, which is darkening up the footage and bringing less detail, all that stuff. So let's do that one more time. We'll just turn off the adjustment layer. And what we'll do is we will adjust this so that it's easier to see it. And then we'll make it really contrasty. Make it pop. And I think I want to take just the saturation all the way down there, actually, because I want this to be black and white. And you'll see why when I eventually transfer it, because I'm going to transfer all of these images to a piece of old paper so it looks like it's almost like an animated storybook. All right, so we've probably got the first frame here, so let's go ahead and throw this in. All right, let's see what this spits out for us. Yeah, the tip feature on YouTube, it's cool and it's definitely appreciated. But YouTube does take about 33% of every dollar that you get donated to you, whether it's through a channel membership or a super chat, any of that stuff. So YouTube certainly runs a racket. So, all right, so we've got that one. And I'm going to make sure I name this correctly. So there's that. Boom. And then I'm going to call this one that one. So I've got to make sure all of the file names match up correctly. So I'm just going to take a few frames out of this. Probably like every 10 frames or so, possibly. There's about 82 frames that I exported here. Hey, thank you, Shavati. Really appreciate that. So I can't see YouTube chat, but I do have a little alert window in OBS here that gives me a noise and lets me know. So if you put a message with it and everything too with your super chat, I can see that as well as your donation. So I appreciate that a lot. But the reason I'm mostly just reading the Twitch chat is I'm going to be eventually moving pretty much exclusively over to Twitch. And I'll do up to 15, I think. And all of my streams will end up being on Twitch here. Wish there was a good way to just do a batch process. You know, I kind of wonder if you can. Because that would be real handy. I gotta say, I really am liking Twitch a lot. It's been a lot of fun. Let's see here. Shoot. Do number 30 here. So this is why my videos take forever. All right, let's just try this out and see where we're at, see if it looks okay. All right, so we got about 4 frames. Hopefully that's enough to train this thing. And then let's go into this. So this is called EB Synth. This is something I've been using for a few videos now, actually, but I'm using it a lot more heavily in this video for sure. Keyframes is right here, and then video is gonna be right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and run it. Okay. Let's okay, let's get rid of that then. Let's see what happened. Never seen it do that before. Let's just see what it does. What on earth? Okay. Maybe I gotta just re-download the software. This may be just keyframes. It's never made a difference before. App data, local temp. I was having an issue where I'm just running out of... Whoa! That's what happened. Holy crap. I really went way too nuts earlier when I was installing some stuff. I've got like no room left on anything. Jeez. All right, let's uninstall a whole bunch of shiz. Yeah, my solid state drive, that snuck up on me. I had like 40 gigs free earlier. Jeez. Wow. Got about 5 gigs of space I can free up here. I did close Chrome, so let's try and let's do that again. Yeah. Anything open in this that I need? No. No, I think I'm good. Nothing. All right, so let's do that. Yeah, go ahead and close Spotify. Nothing. How does Internet Explorer keep getting files, honestly? Like, I never open it. Um, there's like a way that I can actually see what my, like the largest files are. Jeez. Okay, so let's get rid of, I don't need Illustrator. Keep it whatever. Don't need, there's like a whole bunch of stuff that's on here that like isn't actually on the C drive. And the big thing is I was installing a whole bunch of Python stuff earlier so I could figure out how to do all this. What do you call it? The GitHub repositories. A whole bunch of NVIDIA shit. I'm just going to get rid of all of the Python stuff because I need to redo all of that anyway. That's going to free up a ton of space. Guarantee. Okay, either way, it should have enough room that it can start doing this anyway. So let's try doing that. All right, now it's actually starting to do stuff, I think. Yeah, there we go. Let me take a look at how my C drive's looking now. I got 2.6 gigs free. Let's keep going. Jeez, I've never seen it go down to just 0. I honestly don't think I've ever seen that actually happen before. That was nuts. I mean, yeah, I mean it's a solid state drive, and my big issue is I really am a pack rat with these videos. I keep all of the assets basically forever. I've bought a whole bunch of external hard drives that I've been filling up. I've got an entire external hard drive that I use just for the orchestral libraries that I have because it's terabytes of samples. All right, this'll speed things up quite a bit, hopefully. I'm hungry. It's really freaking hot in here too, I just realized. Let me turn the AC down here. Yeah. This is set to 76. No thanks. All right. How are we looking now? About 8 gigs. I'll keep plugging away at this. There's not a whole lot of stuff I can actually still uninstall though. But okay. So we got this. Let's close this project. And then we'll open a new one. And then what's cool about this thing is once it's done, you can export it to After Effects. And we want it to be 12 frames a second because that's what we exported it at. And let's make it fit. See what it looks like here. So that looks like looks kind of like a sketch. Could improve it a little bit. So let's pre-compose. Okay, and then in this composition, we're gonna go ahead and do 30 frames a second. And I'm gonna bring in I like this one here. This number 45. No, because that's got a crease in the middle. Yeah, this won't work. 44. Okay, we'll just throw that down in here. And then this, we are going to correct this. There we go. Just bring as much detail out of there as I can. That's okay. Okay. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to turn that into darken that way. Now what it'll do is, here, let me turn down the saturation here. Blip. There we go. And now what it'll do is it'll hopefully look like it's actually on the paper. So if I turn that 3D and I turn that 3D, and then I add a camera or a light first. brighten that up a little bit. And then we'll add the camera. Let's try this here. So this is what it's looking like here. Is that? Let's do that. And we'll just drag that all the way to the end. That's going to be trippy. Night, Satan. Yeah. Well, I hear you though, Gage. Honestly, I really do need to calm down with how much I keep stuff. But, you know, there's times that I'm glad I have kept it, you know, like when I did the what do you call it? The behind the scenes stuff and the bloopers during the 100K stream. That was kind of fun, right? Oh. All right. So now we have this. And since it already rendered it out, hopefully it won't take too long to render it for us. So there's that. We're done with After Effects for now. Well, we're going to be jumping right back into it probably, but we're done with EB Synth for now. I'm going to do a bunch more shots like that, but I'll probably do it off stream. I just kind of wanted to show you guys how it works. But basically you take a video, you export frames, and then you stylize individual frames, and it will style the video after the style that you fed it. It's called a style transfer. It's really, really fun. Okay, so let's do this. We've got in fact, I need to get rid of that, and I'm going to throw it into AI footage here. Okay. Boom. And it should match up with this. Almost. Almost. But I'm not going to try over that.
Part of the country was sparsely populated, mostly by common peasants. The poorest of the poor, isolated and forgotten.
So you see what I mean? Like where you've got, it's going to have like this matching sort of aesthetic throughout the video, hopefully, where it's just paintings and drawings. So I will do this one. I'll do it later though. All right. And then this section right here, uh-oh. Okay, we're good. This middle section right here, that one's going to take me a little while because I'm doing something a little ambitious with that one. I'm trying to learn Unreal Engine 5. I know. Yeah, I'm trying to learn Unreal Engine 5, and I'm gonna see how far I can get it. It's yeah, the dropping frames, that's not Twitch's fault. It's because when I'm doing video editing, I am taxing my computer really, really hard. And OBS really has a tough time keeping up with me when I'm doing video editing, especially when I'm doing any kind of rendering or anything like that. So it's no fault of Twitch.
No more. The local magistrate immediately put the word out for military aid and chose among many who responded the renowned dragoon captain from Amin, Jean-Baptiste Duhamel, to seek out and kill the monster.
I'll obviously mess with the audio there, but so another fun thing is this video is also going to be a collaboration with History Dose. Kind of fun. So that's where this is where I got that video from. This is a drum line. This is the Cadets. If anybody ever watches DCI. So I exported frames and I erased the background where there's like modern stuff like buildings. There wasn't a whole lot I could do about them looking so modern with like t-shirts and stuff, but it's a real quick shot. This is amazing, honestly. And then this section right here is where I turned them into a cartoon. See? So I zoomed in quite a bit to kind of cover up all the artifacting going on there. This stuff is so cool. Did you see that? That was a one-handed drum roll that they all did. Watch this. Look at that. That's insane. Gosh. So my dad actually was in DCI. He did stuff like this. So like we're big into watching that kind of stuff at the Pagel Casa. Oh yeah, this is some more of the music that I'm doing in here. In fact, I'll show you kind of what I'm thinking of how it's gonna match up here. Well, actually, I need to figure out where this is going to match up now, because originally this was going to be where you see that dip into France and stuff, but I had a better idea for it because it starts off like this, where like, you know, you're zooming into the France map right here. I love these strings that like, this new library I'm using to make this music is so cool. Nuke X, is that like the Linux version of After Effects? So I'm going to save this. I'm going to quit this. We're going to jump into character animator here. I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to make this one shot that I set up. I actually sent out a clip of me messing around with it, but I didn't actually record the shot. So let's go ahead and do that. Yes, I know After Effects crashed. It always crashes. Well, I guess I can uninstall Character Animator 2021 because I'm using the beta version of it. So this is going to blow your mind, guys. This is so cool. Okay, so I need to... All right, so I'm going to switch to desktop only because I have to release my camera. Okay, so let me find... Okay, so there's that. And then in character animator, here, let me do this. Why does it keep doing this? Okay, so I'm going to take this. I need a lot of light back there to do this. Okay. Just getting stuff out of the way. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm going to animate a puppet. This out of the way. Okay, which one is... Preferences. You figure I'm not familiar at all with character animator. This is the only thing I've ever done, and it's a beta feature. Maybe I can... Okay, so let me do this then. Let me just turn this on right here. Okay, so... Okay, so there's that. Okay, this might take a second for me to set up here. gotta point my camera down here. So basically, I made this puppet out of a historical photo, and I'm gonna try and record. I'm gonna try and record an animation here. Okay, so unfortunately I can't see my feet. Okay. Hopefully that'll work there. Okay, so let me set the rest pose. Okay. That seems a lot better. Okay, let's see if maybe we can record that. Okay, that's not working. Okay, maybe jumps. Oh, jumps don't work. Trying to think what else I would need to do. Okay. Okay, so all right, so maybe what I can do is export this. And what I want to do is I want to take this animation. Yeah, it's a little janky, but I'll compensate for it in what I show. A lot of it also is the fact that like I don't have an ideal recording setup for this. Um, okay. Oh, it recorded the audio too. It's honestly good enough that yeah, the head gets a little weird, but you know, I can deal with. Oh, I don't think it's gonna be a huge enough deal, really. Oh, jumps don't work. Okay, all right. Let me see if I can export this video via alpha. Video via with alpha. Yes, that's what I want. Um. Okay. So what I'm wanting to do here is I'm going to export this as just an alpha channel which means I'll have just the transparent animation of this peasant girl. And then what I can do is maybe put in some other animations and stuff like that on the screen where she's okay, so let's do that. Boom. And then we'll make this cool little 2.5D scene. That's not looking too bad. All right. So let's get rid of that. Okay, let's go back into here. One thing I do need to find, I want to find a good like drawing. So illustration, French countryside. Let's see what comes up here. Let's see here. Maybe forest drawing. I'm trying to find a good background that I can use, even if temporarily. That doesn't look too bad. This is okay. Do. This doesn't look too bad. Oh, that's a DeviantArt thing. I don't want to steal somebody's art. Trying to find something that's like Creative Commons here. Ooh. Do. Something large. Something free. Oh, this is good. I like this one a lot. Okay, I do need that to be bigger though, so let's upscale that. For that, I'm going to use this neat little program called Topaz Gigapixel. There we go. Let's make that like 4 times bigger. There we go. Yep, video enhance is good, although it's not nearly as good as Gigapixel. Gigapixel actually does a much better job at enhancing video. Like, it's only for images, but what you end up doing is you just extract all of the individual frames and then you throw it into Gigapixel as an image sequence, and then you just stitch it all back together into a video. That seems to do a much better job than AI Enhance ever did. Okay, so upscaled. Okay, 1 second here. Okay. Aside. Okay, so what we'll have her do is walk across. Let's figure out which ones we want to use, and then we'll put a LUT on it too to. Okay, so there's a walk. Not feeling that one. Not feeling that one. Just looking for the.
On the last day of June 1764.
Okay, that was me trying to jump. Okay, so what's that? I like this. We can do something with this. Oops, and scratches her head. I think we'll just keep it simple with this one here. I feel like when I was walking backwards, that was when it was actually like the strongest animation. I could probably just reverse that. And what I'll do is I'll just zoom in so it's not quite as obvious, I guess. Oh yeah, no, I'll fix the colors later on. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just like putting it up against a background, and then I'll do like a LUT or something like that. I don't know. See how this one's looking here. Yeah, it's super janky. But you know what? We'll make it work somehow. Let's do this so I can match it up kind of where it's at. See how that's looking here. Okay, we'll do that. And then where was the... All right. And then for this one, I'm going to throw in maybe an illustration of like footprints in the snow. I could look on Envato or something. Maybe we'll do dog footprints. I think it'll maybe... I guess I could just easily add some footprints in there. I guess do a style transfer for that too. There we go. And then let's see here. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so the style image. There we go. Come on. You can do it. See who all's over on YouTube over here. Let's check YouTube chats. What's up, YouTube peoples? Hey, Ty. What's going on, girl? No, I'm glad I wasn't checking YouTube chat earlier. Y'all are ridiculous. Such delicate little snowflakes. Dude, like, I don't like your politics, so I won't be donating. Fuck you, dude. Just don't watch my shit. There we go. All right, animal track. All right. All right, so let's throw that into Premiere. There we go. See how that's going to end up there. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to throw this into one nest. Actually, let's do this one first. And then I'm going to throw her down in there. Throw this one down in here. And then let's do that. Let's throw up the contrast on that. Okay. And then let's lower the saturation on this. There we go. How's that looking, Gage? A little bit better, right? It'll be better in a second. Okay. And then this one. There we go. It's starting to come together. Let me throw that lumetri onto here. All right, so here's where we're going to start making it look really cool. First, let me save this. This is the first time I've ever tried any like animation before, so we'll see. All right, so let's throw this back that way. Bip. Make that an easy ease in. No, don't freeze on me. I thought it was about to freeze on me. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll add a camera. Probably a light too. There we go. And then we'll animate the camera here. And then let's actually move the country side back this way so that it really has some distance. And then that's where the thing appears. And then let's fix our camera here because where is my focal point? Oh, it might help if I actually have it on full resolution. Okay, nope, not there. Okay. Oh, forgot. I have some elements I was collecting to add to this. Um, there we go. Boom, boom. Cut that, and then throw that in here. I'm gonna throw those in here. And then I'm just gonna unmolt all of them. And there we go. Boom. And then we're gonna take you. I'm gonna bring you forward. Mm. Instead of you moving that, I shouldn't have done that. In fact, I'm gonna undo this, and I'm going to undo automating her movements, except for right there. Okay. And then that way I can do some free camera movement here. There we go. Now it's looking like a forest. Okay. Now I've got any other trees? Shorter. Now we got an issue with the camera because it's all blurry. Which one of you is covering you up? Oh, there it is. All right, and then I got one more thing that I'm going to add into here. Okay. So, you know, why am I making it harder on myself? Let me just do that twice. And this one's -8. There we go. Later, Gage. Beep. Beep. I'm gonna have some spooky eyes pop out of the trees. Let's pre-compose that. Let's make it a little bit smaller too. I kind of want to get a bush in front, something to obstruct it. There we go. Okay. Okay. Got to figure out a way to make them brighter. Oh, I know. Gotta make them accept lights off. Okay, so that's one way. Off. Okay. And then what we'll do is We'll make them like appear at the very end. Okay. There we go. Let's make it even quicker. There we go. All right. And then for one more good measure, I'm going to add a little bit of particles. Let's add some flowing leaves in the wind. What's up, Lucy in chat? Let's see here. Nature. There we go. Just throw that back there. And then we'll do maybe smaller particle size. Make that like 5. I think I want way fewer of those. There we go. And then we're going to call these, let's see here. Nope, no shading there. Okay. So rendering, we're going to call this, okay, so first save it. Shading on I'm going to put one more light back here. Almost like it's a moon. In fact, let's make it a little bit bluer maybe. There we go. That's nice and spooky. Okay, so that is not gonna work. Those need to be behind her. Okay, so I'm gonna pick that back there. Why is it not? Why is it not doing what it's supposed to do? Okay, so let's do this. Where is... Okay, so that would explain quite a bit of it. Gotta put it behind her. Feels like that shouldn't make a difference, but I guess it does. Okay, that tree definitely needs to go back. There we go. I think we're good now. I'm happy with this shot. I feel like I want a good moon though. How do I... Let's call that one then. This one to Lux. So I'm trying to make these. Let's see here. Trying to make these. You know, that's probably a bad idea to even use a Lux with this one here. Yeah, I'm not even going to use it. Okay, so boom. Just that one. Okay. Okay. So let's save that. Let's export it. This is going to take a little bit here, actually. Is it still doing that? The music? No, there's no music right now. I'm probably going to make some music here in a second, though. Okay, why is that? That ain't supposed to happen. Oh, I know why. Let's do this then. Because I gotta put it over there. Okay, put that one back there. All right, I think I'm okay with that. What's up, Hina? All right, I think I'm okay with this. Let's throw that in the encoder queue. And then we will color correct and make it look all sparkly. Going back to YouTube chat, am I going to release a video this month? Let's see. There's not enough days left in July for me to release one this month. The one I'm working on now, this will be out, I think, in the next few weeks. We'll see. Yay. Hi, Hina. Okay, so we'll call that boulette. Oh, I misspelled it. Okay. All right, this is going to take about 10 minutes, looks like. Nope, maybe even faster. Either way, I'm going to take a quick break here. I'm going to put something on for you guys here while I just go grab a little snack and smoke real quick, and then I will be back on it. Probably going to make some music next, actually, so. Do. Give me 1 second here. Let's see what I got. I know what we're going to do. This is so freaking cool. This is the new melody sheet video. It's so dang good. I can't believe this guy does this. Like, just, it's so insane. Anyway, I will be right back.
The best marketing tagline in movie history might have been from the Ridley Scott film Alien. In space, no one can hear you scream. That phrase is true. And not only because of the distance from Earth, it has to do with how sound travels.
You don't have sound in space because sound requires molecules. You have to be able to move the molecules with the sound waves, and without the molecules there, the sound just doesn't move.
Space is silent because it's virtually empty. As few as 10 atoms in a cubic meter, compared to 10 trillion in our own atmosphere. And without that thick soup of atoms, sound just has no way to travel. But billions of years ago, it was a different story. Not long after the Big Bang, the entire universe was a ball of hot plasma, thick enough for sound to pass through. Shockwaves from the formation of the universe rippled through space, creating a cosmic rumble deeper than anything our ears could detect. What you're hearing now are those actual sounds, decoded by researchers and pitched up to something we humans can hear. These are the first sounds ever created. Primordial stirrings from a newborn universe. Today, space is a lot bigger, a lot emptier, and a lot quieter. But we should be grateful, because if sound did travel through space, we would all be bombarded by a constant, deafening explosion. The roar of the sun. Every moment, our sun blares trillions of watts of sound energy through its turbulent surface. If it wasn't muted by the vacuum of space, that sound would be as loud as a jackhammer here on Earth. Luckily for us, we have the void of space to protect us. And we live in a world of amazing sonic diversity. The sandy deserts, the lush forests, the sound of the ocean, both on its surface and below. Our home planet is a rich soundscape because our ears are perfectly in tune with it. But our little island of sound isn't the only one. There are whole other worlds of sound out there, in the skies, the oceans, and the rocks of other planets, and far beyond.
What is sound? It's the vibrations of molecules in the air. It's a pressure wave. Sound takes on many forms, but the kind that we're most familiar with is pressure waves moving through gas.
Sound travels faster through lighter gases like helium.
making our voices sound higher pitched.
When the air is colder or made of heavier gases like sulfur hexafluoride.
Sound travels more slowly.
But there's even more to it than that.
Sound can be transmitted through any kind of physical medium. So if you are in a swimming pool, you can still hear sound. That's being transmitted through water. Earthquakes are essentially sound waves being transmitted through the solid earth.
Our experience of sound here on Earth is only a sliver of what's possible. Each planet is a unique soundscape, shaped by its particular makeup. So let's go from planet to planet in our solar system to find out what the surface of each one would sound like to our ears. To be clear, you'd pretty much die instantly everywhere but here. But we're gonna pretend to have superhuman powers that will keep us alive. So with that disclaimer out of the way, let's start closest to the sun.
Places like Mercury and these rocky bodies with no atmospheres would be similar to being in space. There would not be much sound, if any.
With its near vacuum surface conditions, it might seem like Mercury would be completely devoid of sound. But it's there. Not in the air, but in the rocks. Scientists have found evidence that the planet is seismically active. So if you put your ear against the ground, you might catch the sound of something strange. A Mercury quake. Next up, Venus.
Because you have this really dense atmosphere, much denser than Earth's, the sound would tend toward what things sound like when you're underwater. If you could imagine something in between air and water, that kind of density, you're running your hand through that and you would feel that. If you were to just materialize in that environment of 900 degrees Fahrenheit and 100 times our atmospheric pressure, you would first be crushed, and then you would probably just burn up completely.
One thing we do know about Venus is that it has lightning. So you might hear thunder.
It turns out that Venus is one place we have real audio from. In the early 80s, the Soviet lander Venera 14 successfully landed on the surface. It survived for nearly an hour before shutting down. And during that time, it picked up these eerie sounds of the Venusian winds. But what about something more human? What would my voice sound like?
The denser atmosphere would tend to lower the pitch, but the hotter air would act to increase the speed of sound, making my voice sound higher. It's a strange scene to imagine. I'm on Venus, in this ethereal world that's a mix between a gas-like atmosphere and water. I'm almost floating. My voice, the thunder, it's all slightly muffled and distorted as it travels through the thick atmosphere.
Our next stop is a polar opposite sonic environment.
Sound on Mars is going to kind of be the opposite direction of Venus because the atmosphere on Mars is very, very thin compared to Earth's, and so there's just not very many molecules.
The wind speed can get very high as hurricane force at the surface sometimes. So imagine a 100-mile-per-hour wind on Earth, you'd be almost blown off your feet. If you were standing on the surface there in Mars, you'd feel it, but it would feel like a gentle breeze here on the surface of Earth.
You wouldn't necessarily hear the wind itself. You would hear the dust that's being picked up, and it would be banging against the faceplate of your spacesuit.
We wouldn't hear too much. Maybe if you were scuffling along on the surface, you could maybe very faintly hear that sound as you were clawing at the ground.
But Mars is another world where we don't have to rely purely on speculation. After sending robots for decades, we finally received the first real audio from the surface of Mars, recorded by the Perseverance rover in 2021. These are the sounds of the Martian winds and the clunk of the rover's wheels over the planet's surface. Sounds that our ancestors could have only dreamed of hearing. Wind and rocks are one thing, but what would our voices sound like? In this thin atmosphere, speech would sound quieter and wouldn't travel as far. And while the low-density air would usually make our voices sound higher, the colder temperatures would
Slow down the sound, and the pitch would
balance out. The biggest change would come from the composition of the air. The atmosphere of Mars is mostly carbon dioxide, which absorbs high frequencies, so our voices would become muffled and distant. If our voices don't carry far, how about a piano? In the faint Martian air, it would sound like something you might hear in a dream. Let's continue on to the outer gas giants, starting with the biggest. Jupiter doesn't have a solid surface. The whole planet is made up of gas that gets denser and denser the deeper you go. eventually becoming a liquid. The pressure and temperature variations are what cause those beautiful swirling bands. Depending on where you were inside its layers, the soundscape would change drastically.
The interesting thing on Jupiter is that the
One second, I'll be
pressure and the
right there. I just gotta
temperatures
grab
where the
something really
cloud
quick.
decks are actually not so inhospitable. You have these super powerful lightning bolts. You'd hear echoes of echoes of echoes just back and forth.
So what about the rest of the outer planets? Like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are mostly made of hydrogen and helium.
Okay. Make sure you guys check the rest of that out. It's a really, really good video. I'm a huge fan of Melody Sheep. But yeah, we got Cheez-Its, folks. All right. So let's do this. Let's throw that in here. All right, let's see how that's looking here. Okay. Kind of wish I had I'll probably re-render that and have those eyes come out from behind the trees a little bit more. I hearted a comment of yours on Reddit. I didn't know you could heart comments on Reddit. Let's see here. Okay. There we go. So that's feeling like I need to speed this part of it up. It looks so janky. Yeah, it is what it is at this point. Okay. And we'll add some sound effects into that, possibly. It's a little too cheesy. Oh, yeah, that might work.
Jean Boulette is found in a field completely eviscerated and almost unrecognizable.
Ooh, I like that. And then I'll probably have like some spinning shot of like her remains.
On the last day of June 1764, the body of a 14-year-old girl, Jean Boulette, is found in a field completely eviscerated and almost unrecognizable, partially eaten.
Okay. Yeah, the I put in a heavy breathing sound in there. And then I'll just have like a spinning out shot where it's just like her arm in the middle of a field or something. But let's see what we got here. Let me do this. I'm gonna render what we've got so far and just take another quick look, see how things are going from beginning to end. And then we'll get to some music. What I was telling you guys earlier, one thing that I'm really going to be a little bit ambitious about is I really want to learn Unreal Engine and start making like really cool cutscenes using Unreal. And like I know enough about it that if I can just get a good scene set up, I feel like I could do it. It just takes a long time. But what's nice too about Unreal is that I can hopefully render it out a lot faster than I typically than it typically takes when I'm doing stuff in After Effects or Element 3D or something like that, because it's a game engine, so it's a little better optimized to do like live stuff, like with good graphics and stuff. In fact, this blank section right here, that one's probably going to be an Unreal cutscene or something like that. Well, thanks. It's really fun. I'd throw up Unreal Engine right now, but like I can't do it with Premiere running. It also takes pretty good long while for Unreal Engine to load up. Like I guess you just got to compile it or something like that. I don't know what the deal is, but loading a game from Unreal Engine doesn't take very long, but loading up the Unreal Engine itself takes a good little bit. So it's if I'm looking a little choppy right now, it's because the computer's working real hard trying to render these video previews here so I can play this thing and see how it's looking. Looks like it's almost done though. I did learn editing on my own. In fact, Night Docs only started in like October of 2019. And if you look at like, if you just like sort my videos by old and you watch them in order, you'll kind of notice kind of a big jump between each video where I just get more and more ambitious and learn more and more. Like you can see the pace at which I start learning stuff as you watch those videos. It's kind of interesting. All right. Looks like we're good. How did I find out about the program? I mean, it's kind of the video program. So actually, I take it back. The very first time I did use Premiere was back when I was in the news business right out of college. This news station I was at, they did show me the ropes a little bit with Premiere, but it was super, super basic stuff. Like, here's how you throw in a clip, here's how you cut it. But they didn't teach us anything like After Effects, anything like that. So I really learned how to edit, especially at this level, just by doing. And it's usually like a goal-oriented thing. Like there's usually something that I want to see on the screen. And so I just figure out how to do it, if that makes sense. You know, IG, like Instagram. I assume you mean something different because Instagram's not a video editing platform. At least I'm assuming. That's not what you meant anyway. All right, that's good enough. All right, let's take a look and see how the video is going so far here.
It is so dreadful in appearance that only Hercules would dare brave it. Only the greatest of courage dare to shoot at it, albeit from a distance, and could only do so with an uncertain trembling of hand. It stands on its hind legs while it strangles and decapitates with the other two. It's so greedy for human blood that it eats even the earth which is watered with it.
Vince, my boy.
In the 18th century, this remote and desolate part of the country was sparsely populated, mostly by common peasants.
I like that effect.
The poorest of the poor.
That's looking cool.
Isolated and forgotten, almost completely cut off from the court at Versailles. The inhabitants of this neglected hellhole died of starvation by the hundreds every year as they awaited their meager annual harvests of grain. The winters get so cold here that many bring their livestock in their homes at night just to get the extra body heat that can keep the brutal, penetrating chill at bay. Infested with wolves, disease, and poverty makes life a daily battle. With little education, there was almost nothing that the mind couldn't conjure up which became believable, even supernatural monsters like werewolves, which were commonly believed to exist, with tales dating back hundreds of years. Standing alone, tending your herds with no human settlements in sight, alone with your thoughts and the sound of hollow mountain wind. It's easy to get lost in your own imagination.
This is the part we'll put in the
Every
Unreal
flicker of
stuff.
movement in your peripheral. Every sudden crunch of leaves or snap of a twig. You just never knew what lay just beyond your line of sight. With firearms being prohibited to everyone but soldiers and nobility, personal protection from the ever-present dangers around you consisted of whatever you could get your hands on. The infrequent travelers who came through on their way to better locations unanimously described all the sparsely located villages they saw as simply hideous. A soldier from Normandy who came in April of 1765 wrote back to his friend, "Snow, hail, thunderstorms, wind, wet feet. I beg of you, sir, if you have not already left for the Gévaudan yourself, forget about it. This is an abominable country with terrible food." As a peasant field worker in southern France, every day was a monotonous routine. You knew the landscape and you knew every bit of wildlife in the area, including the overwhelming wolf population in the area that you had to vigilantly protect your livestock from on occasions where you would just let them out to graze.
So that's pretty much what we've got so far, and then we've got this shot that we just finished up here. And I'll add some more sound effects and so Vince missed it, man. So that I animated that
On the
in
last
Adobe,
day of June 1764, the body of a 14...
I animated that in Adobe Character Animator. And then made like that 2.5D scene. So answer your question about Unreal, what I'm trying to do is I kind of want to make like almost like a cinematic cutscene or two. And I've been trying to learn Unreal Engine 5 and I'm getting the hang of it. I got a little ways to go, but I know enough about it so far. I feel like if I just keep at it, I'll be able to do a few cool things anyway. So let me save this. I'm going to close that. Let's open up FL Studio. Let's make some music here because I want to do something for that Jean Bullet scene. Okay, so let's do that. And then here, let me do this. There we go. All right, and then make sure I've got this set up right. Okay. And then we're going to start a new template. Yeah, me too, Vince. That's kind of how I feel when I like start making this. Like I just try to hype myself up. That's why I start making stuff like trailers for my videos. Like obviously I like to hype other people up, but a lot of it is just because I'm trying to hype myself up, like just keep my motivation going. Like, okay, like I'm on to something here, you know what I mean? See this. Let's drag my desktop over to there. Boom. Okay. And then I'm going to be experimenting around a little bit here. So one thing I want to do is I want to add in later poop monster. I'm gonna add some legendary low strings. Feeling some staccatos or spiccatos. I'm not really sure which yet. Let's see here. Takes a second for it to load. Why isn't this registering on my MIDI? Oh, it says fail. Okay. So let's turn that off. What on earth? What other program would be using it? There we go. I guess it was character animator. Okay. So let's throw that in a mixer. You know, I'm thinking piano. Let's do piano. In fact, I got a new toy that I'm really excited about. Got a couple of new toys. Takes a second for all the samples to load up here. In fact, let me just get rid of Abbey Road, 'cause I don't feel like I need that just yet. Maybe instead of this one, let's do like a felt piano. So I think a felt piano is gonna capture kind of the atmosphere more. That's more if I wanted to record like a Beatles song. The heavy hammer actions and stuff. Yeah, that's a lot more like it. about this. Just listen to the part that it's supposed to go to. Typically what I'll do is I'll edit a whole scene and then I'll score to it, but I don't know, I've just been doing it a little bit differently lately. What I'll probably end up doing is scoring concepts and then re-cueing it to the music, because that seems to work out pretty well. In fact, you guys want to hear something really cool? Let me show you a song that I wrote for this. This is going to be for the climax of this whole thing, actually. When they finally kill this thing. Total runtime of this is probably going to be 35-ish minutes, I think. There it is. This is pretty cool. So this is what I wrote for the climax here. It's called "The Beast is Dead." It's gonna get loud here in a second too, by the way. Just be warned. I'm just gonna shut up for a second. That blows out my speakers over here. I need to mix it a little better. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. Okay, so let me just listen to this for a second.
18-year-old girl, Jean Billette, is found on the last day of June 1764. The body of a 14-year-old girl, Jean Billette, is found in a field completely eviscerated and almost unrecognizable, partially eaten. In fact, there's so little of her left intact that the priest wrote that she had to be buried without sacraments, since there was almost nothing to even put in the ground. As tragic as it was easy for the locals and her family to chalk it up to being just a freak accident. A few weeks earlier, they had ignored another frantic young woman out tending her own livestock when a beast she described as being the size of an adolescent calf burst out of the woods, attacking her. Far more interested in the girl than her cattle, she describes its unusually broad chest, long talons, its huge mouth full of canine teeth, and fiery red eyes that seemed to sparkle or glow. The shaggy rust-colored mane with a dark stripe running down its back. Just as the beast closed in, several large bulls charged between her and the strange attacker. Charging again and again, the beast would find no easy meal today, as it turned and disappeared into the dense forest as quickly as it came. As the terrified girl recounted the ordeal, her family and friends considered her just hysterical, mistaking a common wolf for something far different. It would be over a month before the beast attacked again. But once it did, news of this strange beast quickly spread around the
Okay, so we got a spooky little bed going on there. And then I feel like I need some low strings maybe. Where are you? Um, Not quite what I was looking for. No, let's just go with something. Let's go back into Abby. Okay, and then let's throw that into this. Just gotta give it a second to load its samples. What's up, Skella Gaming? Oh, dude, you're too kind. Thank you, man. If I could only just get the samples to load here. Oh, it's just taking forever. Here, let's see what we've got here with this at least. I like that. Kind of a Trent Reznor sort of sound there. Let's drag that out actually. Just so we've got some room to play. I don't like that. There's parts of it I liked, but I just want to start over. I like where that was going. Let's try that again. That'll do for a second there, I think. And then let's see how our friend Mr. Abbey Road is doing here. liking that. We'll just copy that bass line here. And then just record the automation of the mod wheel here. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. Okay, that'll do for that. And let me find a new home for our piano. I kind of want to add a little bit more reverb to that piano too to give it a ghosty sound. So let's throw you into that. And then we're going to throw on some of this colorful spatial reverb. Yeah, that's it. Do a second piano thing here. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Are you kidding me? Guess it's gonna be like that. Okay. Let's turn the reverb off for just a second so I can actually hear it. That'll do. Ooh, I know a good way, a good little bit of texture we can add to this. These are cool loops, but they don't really match with... Let's just go with regular old... let's try this one here. Maybe just regular old voices. Thank you very much. Nope. Not feeling that choir. But I do know one really cool loop that I did in that horror library that I did long ago in a little thing called Ben Drowns Again that I really liked. It was this really cool. Let's see if I can find it again. That's not it. Maybe it is this one. These are such unpleasant sounds, but they work so well. We're getting there. There's this one loop pattern that they had that was just so awesome. I gotta find it. Might be in this one. Thank you so much, Miyochi. Really appreciate that. Your trip, hopefully you find some creepy nonsense. You're the best. Thank you. That genuinely made me laugh. That's good. Let's see here. Maybe in this one. Man, I really want to find it again. There's this really cool. This might work, honestly. I'm gonna put a pin in this one here. These are so awful. Thanks, Miyuchi. All right, I give up on that one. I'm gonna look around for some different ones here. So there's like this really cool sound that I used in Ben Drowns Again that I wanted to revisit here. never saved this. Okay, let's see what we got here. That's not the right sound. Let's try the sextet. Yeah. Ooh, I don't remember this one. Let's try this with an Omni. Nah. Honestly, I'm feeling like I'm adding too much. Might be good to just leave it. And I'll return to it when it's ready to be like queued up to something here. So let's just export it for now. And throw it in there, see how it sounds. I do have a Discord. If you go into the description for any of my videos, you'll find a link to it. It's a good little crowd. Would love to have you come hang out. Let's see here. All right, let's see how this is here. So I already know I want to drag out this creepy strings thing here before the piano comes in here.
On the last day of June 1764, the body of a 14-year-old girl, Jean Boulette, is found in a field completely eviscerated and almost unrecognizable, partially eaten. In fact, there's so little of her left intact that the priest wrote that she had to be buried without sacraments, since there was almost nothing to even put in the ground. As tragic as it was, It was easy for the locals and her family to chalk it up to being just a freak accident. A few weeks earlier, they had ignored another frantic young woman out tending her own livestock when a beast she described as being the size of an adolescent calf burst out of the woods, attacking her. Far more interested in the girl than her cattle.
Cool. I think that's a good tone for that scene. So, well, I think I'm gonna call it a night. Anybody have anything for me before I log off? Alrighty, well, folks, had a wonderful time with you. Hope you all had a good time as well. Wrote some music. We got quite a bit done tonight. So, anyway, later, everybody.